Yo, how's it going, guys? This is Hootis. Oh my gosh, that intro was disgusting. So today I'm going to be actually talking to you about 3 reasons why you shouldn't fall in love young. Firstly, you are just not ready. You don't know what love is, and before you get offended, you will not be the same person you are today in a year or two. Both your likes and hobbies will change. Your view on life, your view on relationships, your view on love will change, and the type of person you choose to one day be with will change. You may think that you cannot live without someone now because you need them in your life. I call that mentality the Disney mentality. Dying without that person. That they're the way of life, and that you cannot think straight if your crush doesn't say hey to you in the halls or even acknowledges you. If they don't call you today, if they don't text you. Sounds like a Disney movie, correct? Who are Disney's audience? Children are. By no means am I saying you are a sucker for Disney films. Instead, I am saying the image of love cannot be taught to you. You yourself will soon realize and form your own view on love. But some, like myself, adopt the Disney way of thinking, which is a terrible mistake for a few reasons, especially when young. Love is literally a drug. There's this quote that says, "Love is a vulnerable thing. Falling in love is like a great drug." You do with that information as you will. But let's actually talk about drugs for a second. I myself used to be a daily smoker of this thing called marijuana. I personally enjoyed it deeply. It didn't only give me new ideas for content, but it brought out my better self with comedy and even with the people in general. I saw life in a whole new perspective. It was brighter, it was more fun, it was funnier, but as soon as I started losing access to it, my body began asking for more amounts. It started literally tearing me apart. I, along with a few smoker friends, would call it wifey. And to this day, I can say I have divorced the bitch. And I can now tell you it was the best decision I ever done. But it wasn't easy. It started tearing me apart. I began vomiting, sweating like a mofo. I couldn't eat shit. I wasn't even able to shower since my body would reach a high level of fatigue. Literally from normal day activities such as dressing myself. I became very much one with the floor since I was brought to my knees for my body begging me for more. Why am I telling you this story? Well, first of all, don't do drugs. It is not worth it. They only tell you, oh, you'll feel like you're flying, this and that. No. Trust me, when you go flying, there's always a way to come down, and usually that is to crash and burn, okay? But if you do decide to continue doing it, I would advise you just take it socially, you know what I mean? Every 5 months or so. Don't let this fake friend or this bitch of a wife control your life and your finances. Secondly, because I personally have experienced love at a young age, and I can personally tell you that after a month of quitting weed, I no longer need it, no longer desire it. I am living my life as I used to in peace. But love? I fell in love with this one girl. We'll call her Ange for the purpose of this video. When I was 14. 14. 1-4. You thought I was gonna say 7, 8 years old? No. I mean, you watching this video, 10 to 17 years old. I am still suffering from falling in love young at 14. It got to the point where I made this girl the center of my world. She was all I thought of as I wrote every song for her, as I made countless playlists for her, was constantly there, ready to love her. All the above statements fall under the category known as simpism. But I was no simp, I was just in Disney love, and she as well. She and I never got the chance to be together due to her parents not approving of it, and that literally tore me to pieces. Since I had lost all communication to the one person that made every day another day to look forward to. I fell into deep depression, got fired from my job that I had been the model employee for over 5 months due to my personality and drive, completely changing to slow and depressed. Couldn't pay off bills, so I then got into deep debt that I still am working to pay off now. I was at the age of 17, 3 years after I had initially fallen in love with her. But she does have some faults, since she always decided to come back in the times I felt I had gotten over her the most. Which is never truly it if I'm able to fall in love all over again after just seeing her name on the screen out of literally nowhere. I started starving myself because food had no taste to it anymore. Colors weren't vibrant anymore. Even music. By the way, music was literally my Neverland. If there are any Peter Pan enthusiasts out there, that was my Neverland. Music had lost its way to my soul, which is really tough because music was literally gonna be my career. When I was a kid, I wanted music to be my career. Now, I lost music. The third and final point, the person you fall in love with when young will also change. We aren't the only ones who change, people. Others around us do too. If it's due to experiences they go through, new traumas, new friends, or even new interests, the person you fall in love with today will not be the same person you see in a year or 5. They can lose their way according to you and the past you shared with them. Today, you guys could be in love and beautifully innocent together against the world like superheroes. But you and that person will stumble upon new people with new ideas and point of views. People change. But love is love, right? It's above it all. You should be able to love anyone no matter what, right? Love is indeed love and has the power to literally cure anything. But with that amount of power, it is bound to break and kill a few things too, man. Think of it like the sun. It's good for you to go outside, play with your friends, receive that heat and all its vitamins or whatever. But as much as the sun seems to be beautiful and warm, it can get pretty hot once you fly really close to it, to the point where it disintegrates you. If you build a spaceship and prepare yourself, you can definitely get pretty close to it without burning up. Well, that's what these years are for. These are the years where you get to prepare yourself and focus on yourself, becoming the person you are growing up to be, maturing and working on your issues or flaws so that you don't make them sink with you on your sinking ship, firmly seeing and respecting your morals, not giving anyone the chance to influence your way of love. What do I mean by that? Young love can eventually even seem pretty controlling to other people, or even yourself eventually. Either making it seem that controlling is normal, or the amount of levels of affection you receive is normal, it either being too much or too little, and also tying you down and stopping you from experiencing things you need to go through on your own. Here's a bonus on the most important point. Young love is indeed beautiful when it works out, but sadly it doesn't happen to all of us. So when you have it and experience it and literally live in it, once it's taken away from either another person or parents or even long distance, it doesn't only tear you up, it ends up making you hate yourself. For what? For not being enough, for being unlucky with love, for losing your only source of happiness, for being so stupid, for noticing that the person you love isn't there anymore. What do I mean by that? Well, that last point there can be years after being lifeless due to the lack of that person. You can be with them, look into their eyes, but in reality, not seeing the same old soul you used to see. When they speak, they have new words and new ways of how they see life. When they say I love you, it doesn't have the same weight as it used to. But why? Well, just how our bodies change over time, our soul and mind do as well. We have evolved into who we are today, and we will continue evolving into someone you may love to be in the future, or someone who you might hate being. I am now 21 years old, and I can tell you that it still hurts when I think of her. When I see her come back and remind me of the love we had while she's with someone else, it hurts. It continues to kill me. And the funny part is, after all these years, I know that is the main reason why I am so closed off with my current partner at times. Why I'm so negative about life and new and great experiences. I used to want to see the northern lights. I used to want to ride a canoe down a gentle river, but I don't anymore. Now, I don't know if it's due to me subconsciously punishing myself for not being enough for that person, or if it's because that part of me was killed, but that alone should let you know that you end up losing your happy place. That thing that used to make you happy even before them. Music, art, video games, food, parties, laughter, friends, romance. They all lose their taste and nothing ends up making you happy in the long run anymore. And that right there can lead you to looking for love from anyone, even from the wrong people, hating life itself, hating yourself, and you end up not even knowing who you are, all because you focused on making someone else your meaning to live. It can lead you to breaking friendships and possible relationships too, man. Causing other people to hurt people. I hope you guys got something out of this. And if you currently are going through this, either in the honeymoon stages or even in the heartache, sadly you will never forget them. But you will also find new people down the line who will not only support you in everything you do, but love you very deeply. They will have to understand that part of your life, since it is the thing that is breaking you down. Love is a strong thing. And it's true when they say love never dies, but it ends up outliving you by sucking life out of you. I hope you guys enjoyed the background gameplay also. Be sure to comment down below to remind me how much of a better player you are than me. Share this video to someone who you think needs to hear it or knows of someone who should. Love you all. Take care.